Welcome to the Press Box, the first basketball edition of 2014-2015. I'm sports editor Marc Nesseler, sports writer Daniel Makarewicz, and we wear gray today as a tribute to Conan Dalton, who was the Rocky soccer coach, passed away this week. But he also had some basketball connections too, Daniel.
Yeah, he was the last 2 seasons served as the Rock Island Boys basketball team's manager. I know it looks like I'm wearing a lot of blue. This is the closest top I could get with some gray in it. I'm wearing gray slacks and the gray band that Corey Dalton, his brother, gave me. Gray is the color of brain cancer, which unfortunately Conan succumbed to that on Sunday. So
one of the nicest guys that I've
very difficult
ever met and played softball with him.
Right.
And he was very fast too, by the way. Batted at the top of the lineup. I bet you didn't know that.
I did not.
There you go. There's a little bit of gray area in basketball this week. The toughest game, I think, is United Township and Moline.
Correct.
At Wharton Fieldhouse. Who do you like there? It's hard to separate the two.
I think on paper, because of a little bit more experience, and I think UT's backcourt's playing a little bit better right now. I think you got to give the edge to the Panthers. However, I can't recall during Jeff Schimmel's tenure Moline losing to UT. And I think in the last 7 years since Coach Polite's been at UT, they've only beaten Moline once, and that was in a regional
Jerry
play.
Miles is the X factor. He didn't play, I don't believe, in
Still don't know. Still don't know if he's going to be playing tonight.
I think that is a big difference maker. Yeah. I really like the way Moline played at Galesburg.
Well, and see, that's the tricky part, because Moline, their front court played extremely well with Basala and Andy McLaughlin.
As a matter of fact, Ryan Sargent, who used to work on our staff, last year, he said, watch out for a freshman that's going to come out and emerge and be one of the best players Moline's had. And I waited and never happened. He excelled on the sophomore team, but never got up to varsity very much. This year, he's just outstanding and averaging double figures, double rebound.
I think it's like 16.6 points per game. But, I mean, I think it's going to come down to the backcourt. I think the backcourt's going to play a pivotal role in that. Who will limit turnovers? Who will be able to hit shots from perimeter? Who is going to make plays when it counts? Because the front courts for both teams are very solid. Which backcourt is going to be able to step up and make plays?
I think that's fair.
Yes.
Rock Island travels to Quincy. Quincy's never an easy place to play.
A winner's wonderland. They still claim that, even though they've been irrelevant for so many years.
And they have a new coach.
Yeah, Andy Douglas, 2000 Quincy High grad. Senior high is 3-0. Very deceiving. Their Thanksgiving tournament
played teams I'd never heard of.
Bayview out of Milwaukee, U City in St. Louis, and then Urbana. I think
1 out of 3.
That's deceiving.
Yeah.
3-0. Rock Island 3-1. Played some very, very good competition.
Played Bogan, ranked highly in the state.
2, with one of the best point guards in the state. I think Rock Island, it's not easy going on the road in the Big Six. Not easy going to Quincy. But Rock Island, from the talent level, I think Rock Island's front court's better. I think Rock Island's back court's better. I think Rock Island should be able to take care of business.
The one thing that concerns me for Quincy is the free throw shooting.
Correct.
I mean, they did not shoot free throws very well on their home court.
Correct.
They have to do that if they're going to even, challenge Rock Island. And they got to stop Rock Island's outside game. I think, Tyler Hall.
Yeah, I mean, he shot very well.
Man, he shot really well.
And he could be the X factor because Quincy's guards aren't very big. I mean, he for a 2 guard, he's about 6'3", 6'4". He's a matchup problem. So if Tyler Hall gets involved and can hit outside shots, that's going to be a huge problem for Quincy.
I'll be heading to Galesburg.
John Thiel Gym.
Yep, John Thiel Gym for Alleman Galesburg. Looks on paper as lopsided. But, a Big Six game, you can never really truly say that.
Well, I spoke with Galesburg coach Mike Reynolds on Tuesday night. He was scouting Kewanee, Alleman, and I asked, how'd you guys play Thanksgiving?
Right.
We're okay. And he kind of had that grin, the coach speak. I think that
we're okay,
we've been playing pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
Devin Ross.
Because, Coach Reynolds can go,
Yes, he can follow the coach speak. Devin Ross, the junior guard from Galesburg's questionable with an undisclosed injury. Either way, I think, on paper, like you said, Galesburg, the way their guards are playing, Alleman's still kind of figuring some things out. But Alleman, if they can put 4 quarters together, they will be a problem.
They played a good half against Kewanee. Darren Oliver.
32 points.
Yeah.
But, Ryan Hodge played pretty well. I like him.
Ryan Hodge played well at Brimfield. He had one not so good game, but in the other ones he was. And Harley Miller has potential, and they're really going to need somebody with. They're going to need somebody with an outside shot, and they got to hit the boards a lot better. Because I mean, Galesburg doesn't have a lot of height. I mean, Grant Gibson,
they're scrappy,
and Grant Gibson does hit the boards hard.
And Alleman cannot have more than they have to limit turnovers, and they have to be able to execute offensively. If they can kind of grind out possessions and not turn the ball over, I mean, they'll have a chance to stay in that one. I mean, it's not easy.
Here's your stat for the week. Geneseo plays Sterling. Himmelman, 6'7", has made 33 out of 38 field goals.
That's pretty good.
That's just, I just can't even fathom anyone shooting like that's.
I mean, I always
calculator in my head.
I always consider 50% a good field goal mark. When you're shooting about 90, that's pretty impressive.
Which means that Geneseo's game plan must be pretty good to this point to be able to feed him into shots that are 33 or 38.
Wow.
I just can't.
That's absurd.
It is absurd.
Well, and that's an interesting matchup because Sterling, they feel like they're going to be better this season. They return a lot of guys. Sterling plays Alleman next Tuesday at Alleman, but Geneseo, in talking with Brad Storm, he thinks that they're coming around a little bit more. He's liking their guards. They're still a little young in the backcourt, but Himmelman, I mean, man, if he could even hit 60% of their
that's five. They played 5 games, right? 4 games and 5 misses. If he doesn't go 10 out of 11, he doesn't match his average.
and I wanted to talk about Brian Heath, 41 points.
Oh, yes.
Tuesday night was an unreal night with Brian Heath, 41 points, almost outscoring Erie. And then Donovan Oliver scoring 32 against Alleman. And let's keep in mind the Three Rivers Conference is 2-0 against the Western Big Six this season. And the Western Big Six is a very, very good league this year.
Right. We got some great basketball. Friday night, Saturday, Caneland Rock Island is in town.
Moline,
Ottawa, great games. We'll see you next week for week 2 of the Press Box. Thanks for coming.